Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Hello, good evening. Welcome, Chris Crew. Can you hear me? Hello. Good evening. Let's see who's in the building. Antoinette, Nene. Hey, Teef. How you guys doing this evening? Yes, we about to get into this interview. We are about to, yes, the Chris Nicole. We are about to get into this interview. Did you guys get a notification or you guys were just ready? I always try to wait and when people get the notification so then that way they know that I'm live. Okay, I see the number jumped. So I'm sure people got the notification at this point. Yes, Shayla. 2 in a day, honey. Yes. Hey, GSP. Hey, Leo. What's up? We're back at it. We are back at it. Yes, we are. You just got the notification. Okay, good. It seems like people are getting their notifications more and more. So I'm happy to hear that. Okay. So some of you guys was ready. Some of you guys got the notifications. All right. So I see more people are coming in. I am hoping that everyone watched it. So put a 1 in the chat if you watched or listened to the interview. Put a 2 in the chat if you did not. Put a 1 in the chat if you watched it, listened to it. Put a 2 in the chat if you did not. So we can start from there. Let me know. And let me tell y'all, baby, you probably gonna hear pages. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half pages worth of notes. Okay. All right. So 1. Okay. A couple of 2s. All right, you guys. I don't know how much detailed I can go into, but hopefully the way that I tell stories, you'll be able to understand for those who didn't watch it. Okay. Because it was a lot. So, what are we talking about? Hey, Yuli. What are we talking about? And you guys hit the like button on your way in. Yes. So, we are talking about a gentleman by the name of Bilal. And Bilal has apparently been a friend of Will Smith for 38 years. So pretty much 40 years, okay? 40 years worth of friendship, pretty much, that's taken back all the way to the 80s. Both of them are from Philly. And so he decided he wanted to start doing interviews. And like I said before, he did an interview with, I think, Comedy Hype before Tasha K. But the one with Tasha K is the one that truly took it to the next level because he said things in this one that he hasn't said in any other interview. So the first thing that I noticed, and again, let's start off with this. Do you guys believe he's telling the truth or do you think he's lying? Y'all let me know. Do you think he's telling the truth? Do you really think he's telling the truth or if he's lying? Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. Or could it be both? What are you guys thinking? Oh, yeah. Low down and dirty with her. Yeah, for sure. So, yes, you're saying yes to what, GSP? Truth or lies? Let me know. What do you guys think? From hearing it, what do you think? Hey, May. Do you think it's the truth or you think he's lying? Some parts he might be. Okay. There was some truth, but a lot of lies. Okay. Some parts he might be. Okay. You don't know. Got it. Yes, I believe him. Okay. All right. He knows some stuff. Right. Okay. All right. My opinion. Okay. Steve say he believes it all. He believes everything. Now, I'm going to give you my perspective. And again, this is all my opinion based on what I heard. I feel like there are some things that he definitely knows. Why wouldn't he know some things? He has been around him for almost 40 years. But at the same time, I feel like it's interesting that he left himself out of a lot of stuff. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that he's probably left out that includes him. Assistants are typically the closest people to these celebrities. But let's start from the beginning. He says he first met Will. Well, he knew Will, but what really like bonded them was an actual radio situation where a guy was trying to extort Will. Came to the radio station. Will and his friend, I guess his name is Charlie, which Bilal says that Charlie is, he tried to imply he's the Rat Mac. So I guess he was trying to imply, I guess he's a snitch. How when Will and Charlie came in, Will gave a nod. Charlie busted this guy in the eye. Next thing you know, it got real ugly. Apparently, I guess police was called and he immediately said he's covering up for Will and Charlie. So from the beginning, he is pretty much starting off this conversation saying that he has been covering up Will since the beginning of their friendship. He starts off with that. He starts off saying that pretty much he has been covering for him. That's how he really makes it seem like his friendship, they got close, was because of that. So I found that interesting that he wants to start off that way. So I'm like, so you're trying to imply that you've always been the one lying for him. You've always been the one covering for him and protecting him. Interesting that you started off that way. But my whole thing is, what's fascinating is that while he's giving Will props, he's shitting on him at the same time. And just my whole thing is, in the interview, and I'm going to just start off with this, because what bothers me about this interview is he says 38 years of friendship. Tasha says, well, you know, people are going to say with friends like you, who needs enemies? He says, well, I would say we had a friendship for 36 years. The last 2 years, Will was not my friend. And I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking, what in the hell happened within those 2 years where you feel like you have to air your friend out of 36 years completely out this way? Because if it was a solid friendship like you claim for 36 years, why would you air him out this way? Why? And maybe because of me being the type of person I am, I'm a firm believer in karma. I have definitely had people who I was solid with who have screwed me over. Okay. So, yes, the immature thing and the get back thing, I guess, would be to try to get revenge. But because of my character and who I am as a person, I'm not about to sit up there and tell your lost long secrets or things like that. You're going to get yours in the end. You'll eventually see what type of friend I was. And truthfully, without him saying anything, Will has been having a lot of BS going on for the past couple of years. So, and the story that he gave as to why their friendship has ended, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But let me start off. Let me start off from taking it there. So, hey, Mimi, I'm sorry, you guys. You know how I be talking. Hey, Jamaica. So, with that, he pretty much says that his book was coming out, and when Jada and her team and their people heard that his book was coming out, Jada, whose book was supposed to be released in 2024, decided to bump up her book because of the fact that his book was coming out. I'm just like, dude, no one knows you. I mean, I understand that your book is supposed to be salacious, but at the same time, I mean, it could be, but I was just like, okay, if this is what you want to tell us, then fine. But my whole thing is, he tells us that the 2-year situation, what happened was an issue with, because I guess apparently he went from an assistant to being a product placement advertiser, I suppose. I don't know. I guess a product placement coordinator. I don't know what the hell the name is called, but he did product placements with celebrities. And he apparently said this is 2 years ago. Now, mind you, the video of him in this upper left-hand corner with Will in that mustard type of sweater, he and Will were in a video together, and he's promoting Will's book. Will's book came out November of 2021 based on the release date. He claims that Will was trying to get him to set up gift boxes, product placement / gift boxes, and included in that gift box, it would be Will's book. And he would actually send these out to celebrities. And he wanted Bilal to pretty much take in part of that and to help create these gift bags or these gift boxes. And so he claims what the situation that happened, he says that it's Will's team and Jada's team, and they treated him horribly. And he said, hey, Akeemat and Kimmy, he says that they were treating him horribly in the meeting. He said he even records the meeting. And Tasha's like, well, what did they say? What did they say to you? And he doesn't really give specific details of some very harsh things that they did. More than anything, they just treated him like, you know, you're really nothing and you're really not bringing anything to the table. Okay, that's the way he pretty much puts it. It doesn't come out specific, but what he says in the end is he brought all of this stuff in from product placement and his clients, thousands of dollars worth of product, and now he can't do nothing with it because they pretty much decided that they don't need him. Okay, that is the reason why he claims that there was an issue or started to be an issue, and every time he reached out to Will, he didn't get a response. Mind you, he reached out to Will, didn't get a response. He said he reached out again, didn't get a response. But then when he reached out or tried to reach out again, that's when the slap happened at the Oscars. But remember, before the slap, he was a laughingstock about August Alsina a good, at least probably a year before that. So that's why I said these past couple of years, Will has been going through it for someone who has had a perfect image this whole entire time to all of a sudden now he's a laughingstock. All right. So hold on to that. And this is what he's saying about what happened. This is a claim what happened that took their friendship to, oh, it's beef, F him. It is what it is. Because he's saying at this point it's beef. This is beef. All right. So hold on to that because I'm going to start talking about some other stuff and then we're going to get back to that at the end. So with that, he literally contradicts himself in this video because while 1 minute he is saying that he doesn't want to name celebrities because they haven't done nothing to him, he still names celebrities besides Will and Jada. He mentions Dwayne. He mentions Lisa Ray's ex-husband. He mentions Lisa Ray. He mentions Mark Anthony. He starts naming all of these people. And I said, well, damn it, for someone who don't want to put celebrities' names out there, you're putting celebrities' names out there. So I'm just like, what is going on here? But there are some stuff that he said that I feel was true. He said Will is complicit in Jada's behavior. Well, hell, I think a lot of us can agree with that. We clearly see there's something going on and there's a power dynamic in this relationship that is not adding up, okay? Yes, and I'm sorry, Leo, and I had his name down here. Benny Medina also. Benny Medina also. He just starts naming names, then say that he doesn't want to name certain celebrities because they've done nothing to him. What the hell did Benny Medina, Dwayne Martin, Mark Anthony, what did they do to you? But he says Will is complicit in Jada's behavior. I think a lot of us would agree with that. You know, it's something is not right. He says Jada's a bitch. Well, the bitchness kind of pours out on her. It comes through her pores. I don't think anyone looks at Jada and doesn't realize that maybe she's giving off a certain image that's not really her. I mean, let's just keep it real. So the fact that he said she's a bitch, I'm like, okay. I think a lot of people are probably agreeing with that. And then, it's implied that she lies. Okay, possibly. And a lot of celebrities will lie. A lot of people in general will lie. But when he started talking about her being in survival mode, first of all, he said her being the prettiest girl in Baltimore. And I was like, who determined that Jada was the prettiest girl in Baltimore? Like, I would need for people to stop thinking Baltimore don't have pretty women or nice looking men. He kept saying she the prettiest girl in Baltimore. Pretty much he implies that to survive, because her mother was on drugs, she pretty much did what she had to do and slept her way to get the things that she needed, and pretty much slept her way to the top when it came to Hollywood too, allegedly. That's what he's saying. But here's the problem that I have with that. That's not just Jada's story. That's a lot of people out here. That's a lot of people. Like, let's just keep it real. That's a lot of people's story, that they had to do certain things to survive, women and men. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when he's saying that, I'm like, you act like this is foreign to the world, especially this industry. She ain't the only one, and she's not going to be the last one. But it is very clear he don't like Jada. He don't like it. He can't stand Jada. So he talks about that. And then after he talks about all of that, he talks about how she's allegedly a dope fiend. Of course, and they mentioned the whole psychedelic situation when it comes to her son. And then in the process, he says because of his religion, he can't lie because of his religion. And I'm just like, if one other person talk about because of their religion, they can't lie. Come on. Like, come on. Really? Are we really going there? But he says it, and he says it a couple of times. Like, it can't be speculation. It can't be speculation. Like, I gotta tell the truth. Like, I'm just like, okay, homie. All right, you gonna go with that? All right, fine. But let me move on. He also says that Sheree, I think it's Sheree or Sheree, his first wife, caught Will in bed with Benny Medina, allegedly. And how he never asked her about it, but he felt like it was confirmed when he saw Will and Benny Medina kiss on the lips. Then he implies that the 6 Degrees of Separation movie, and for those who may not know that movie, that is the movie that Will did. I want to say that was one of his first movies that he did, and he played a gay man. And he said that to get really in tune with the character, he watched some videos, if you know what I mean, and he truly went like head over heels with trying to be this character. And let him tell it, he feels like that's where the grooming began, and his addiction to men, and how he has proof that he is bi, and that he feels like him being bi is that's when all of this came about. And here's my problem with that. I don't see how you can groom a grown man. I just don't. I don't see how you can groom a grown man. Now, you can have men just like women get violated. We definitely know that. I can see how you can groom a child, who's not fully developed. But how can you groom a grown man? He either wants to do it. Like, I just don't understand what do you mean grooming? Like, what to me, I was like, it's no grooming. At the end of the day, you either want to do it because that's what you like, or you're so desperate for the fame, the attention, the money, maybe you're willing to go there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the case because, people claim people got to do a lot of crazy stuff for fame. So maybe that's it. But I'll be damned if you trying to say that they groomed a grown man. That don't even sound right to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you can have people taken advantage of, but to be groomed and all of a sudden this addiction began, it just don't sound right. But that's my opinion. So he literally, like, it's a lot, y'all. And I'm sure some of you guys, of course, I'm just recapping this for those who didn't actually listen to it. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can understand and flow with what I'm saying. So with that, one thing I will say with Tasha, and this is why I say, like, Tasha makes it seem like she understands industry stuff, but Tasha clearly in certain areas doesn't understand industry stuff, because when he starts talking about the All of Us show, and for those who watch All of Us, I want to say it was on multiple seasons, if I'm not mistaken. For those who watch that show, how many seasons were All of Us on? Y'all let me know. But he was talking about All of Us because at one point he said he separated as an assistant to Will and he started doing product placement. And so this is when he's about to tell the story of Will and Dwayne. All right. So he says that he was summoned. He was summoned to go and help out Will on the All of Us set. That not that they asked him. They pretty much said he's not asking. He's telling you to get your ass over here to help. So he did what he was told. And so when they're talking about it, Tasha says, TV actors don't make that much money. And I'm like, child, negative. You get a hit show and it's network TV, like the main network TV stations, and you get a hit show and you one of the main characters, you're making money. You're making money. So when she said TV actors don't get paid that much, Tasha, come on now. You need to do your research. You want a network show, you're getting paid. You're getting paid, especially a successful one. Lots of money. Do your research on Friends and a lot of other shows. Hell, even do your research on shows like, you know what I'm saying, Martin Living Single. I'm sure now the residuals aren't really that well for some of the shows, but in their prime, when those shows was airing and they kept getting season after season, these people was getting paid. They was getting paid lots of money. So that's when I was just like, okay, Tasha, child, like Friends, for example, these people still get paid millions of dollars per year. And that show hasn't they can get paid. So moving on. So he says, and he mentions he was pretty much Dwayne Martin's assistant. And the reason why Will wanted him to be Dwayne Martin's assistant, because he wanted to keep tabs on Dwayne, because Will and Dwayne had a spat because Dwayne was allegedly messing around with Lisa Ray's ex-husband. Okay. And so he says he had keys to Dwayne Martin's dressing room. I'm sure y'all heard that, right? So he says he's looking for Will because Will was executive producer, but he was also acting at the time on the show. He's looking for Will because they want Will to approve a scene. He's looking for Will, can't find him. He says he goes to Dwayne's dressing room, opens up the door, and he sees them having freaky tales and getting it on. And so I'm thinking in my mind, I don't know if he said he unlocked the door with the keys, but he said when he closed the door, he locked the door. My thing is this. You have these two men who are clearly, you're claiming they have a secret relationship, all right? A secret relationship. And you're saying this, but they decide. Now, a dressing room, now some of the main people on a TV show, their dressing rooms are nice, but it is truly a room, okay? It's not a house, it's a room. You mean to tell me neither one of them heard somebody rattling or opening up the door and even felt your presence by the door, and they just sitting up there getting it on with you standing there, they don't hear nothing? Does that sound right to y'all? I'm just like, and he making it seem like they just continuing to do until he says, "Oh shit," and then they notice him then, and that both of them are like, "Get the f out of here." And I'm just like, this don't make no sense. And you mean to tell me that they just randomly at that particular moment, when they are on set, felt really quickly that during the lunch break, they just gonna get it in, knowing that people got access to that room? You know what, Teef? Don't make me laugh. This is why I'm not trying to watch the. This is why I'm not trying to watch the comments right now. I can't. So yeah, that's when I was just like, I don't know how much I believe that story. I feel like he wanted shock factor in that. Not saying that, because of course we have heard rumors for years about them. Everyone has heard rumors who's in tune with celebrities, heard rumors about Will and Dwayne for years. But at the same time, I just don't see them being that sloppy. I just don't see them being that sloppy. But that's just me, my opinion. Now, with that, he also claims, because of course he said he doesn't like Jada, he says that the Smiths are real quick to set people up, whether it is go get money to do X, Y, and Z. But then if something happens and these people don't agree with whatever their demands are, all of a sudden they have theft or they have something against them that they can use. That's why people don't come out. And my whole thing is, if that's the case, then why didn't they set you up? Oh, but here's why he claims, I guess they didn't set him up. He says after he's found Will and Dwayne, Will went to him and Will said, "We got to talk." He claiming Bilal's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see nothing." And so Will tried to make him sign an NDA at that time, saying it was for his protection. Even tried to imply Eddie Murphy and a trans woman, and how something happened to the trans woman, and I don't want that to happen to you. Sign this NDA. And apparently at that point, Bilal left. He just went ghost. He wasn't working, for Will anymore. And he just went ghost until Jada, of all people, got them back together. The same woman that he claims hates him and he hates her. All right. And then he wanted to talk about this song, My Blinker Bitch. I don't know about y'all, but I was laughing my ass off when I heard that damn song. You saw my blinker, bitch. Baby, it sounded like a parody. It sounded like it was pure comedy. But let him tell it, because of course Will is known for not ever cursing in his records. He said the powers that be made him. He almost implied that the powers that be made Will do that song, but they said that they would never allow this to get out to protect him. In my opinion, that freaking song, it doesn't sound like it's that much of a big deal to hold over Will's head. Like, he could easily just simply say, "Look, I was mad that day," or whatever. I don't curse on records, but this is not something that I plan to sell, but I had to get my frustration out. It does not seem like that is something to hold over Will's head. You saw my blinker, bitch. And he's like, I mean, he doesn't curse. Like, that's his claim to fame. No, his claim to fame is not him not cursing on a record. That just seems to be an extra added thing to him, that he's a wholesome rapper. But his claim to fame is his rap career, the catchy songs, and his acting career. it to me has never been this big thing about Will Smith not cursing. We knew that, but it wasn't like that's his claim to fame. So that's when I was just like, child, my blinker bitch, I'm laughing at this. If anything, probably people like me would have been laughing like, okay, Will, like now we see why you gave up your rap career. Because my blinker bitch, this no, it wasn't gonna hit. Sorry. So with that, he said, now, here's the thing about this situation with the book. So, the book situation. As we see, he's promoting the book with Will. Will is saying in that video that Bilal is in the book. He even says that his Will people told him he's in the book. And Will wants him to do product placement, a gift box. And like I said earlier, I was going to get back to this. Now, he also says that Jada at a certain point started to control Will. But hell, he honestly make it seem like she's been controlling him from the beginning. But at a certain point, especially when something happens, and we'll get to that, but when something major happens that she can hang over his head, Will's team was pretty much Jada's team. Jada controlled everything. And he claims that he knew this and he saw that Jada couldn't be controlled. The stuff that she said, she couldn't be controlled. And they even talked about this on their Red Table Talk together, that one time Jada told him to like shut the F up, and he hit her with like a newspaper or something like that and was going to break up with her at that time. So it is very clear that Jada is the type where she possibly can't control her mouth. So he knows this though, right? He knows this. He knows that at this point, this is Jada's team control everything that Will does. He even says in this meeting about the product placement, it is Will and Jada's team, and they're treating him like crap. And he does all of this, and they pretty much say at the last minute after he got all of the stuff, they don't need him. Well, if you know this, and if you know that Jada is running the show at this point, why are you shocked that they screwed you over? Especially when you know you don't like her and she don't like you. And why, for you to be the businessman that you are, saying you learned this industry and your product placement is the shit, because he kept saying his product placement is the shit. Why didn't you get proper contracts in order to where if they decided to screw you over, you had something in place? And furthermore, I don't know if 30 years worth of friendship, as he subtracted 2, if 30 years worth of friendship that you claim this man has been solid with you, that is the reason for the demise. Take him to court. Take it on a civil level. If it was something where you lost your money. So that's when I was just like, it doesn't make any sense to me, especially when you know Jada don't like you. And if Jada don't like you and Jada's team is in the room, I'm going to cross all my T's and dot all my I's to make sure I don't get screwed over. But that's just my opinion. So what is this really about, Bilal? What is it really about? So, and then not to mention, when did this gift box thing happen where clearly right before or when his book was released, you did this video with him supporting his book? So when did this happen? Because we see you in a video supporting this book. Like that's one of your BFFs. So how and when did this go down? So that's when I was just like, this something the buttermilk ain't clean. It's something about, and furthermore, what Bilal reminds me of, and this is just my opinion, all of this is my opinion, all of this alleged. What he reminds me of is a guy who probably wasn't the most popular with the ladies, and he became popular with the ladies according to who he knew and who he was around in the industry. Okay. And because of that, that's how he got the access. And it almost comes off because he lost the access. Now he's pissed off. But in my personal opinion, just my personal opinion, he been setting this shit up for years. It just comes across like he has been setting this up for years. No way within this 2 years little spat that you claim that happened, that you really can't give us major details on, that doesn't sound like this is worth taking 36 years of friendship down the drain. You either been plotting this from the beginning, from the very beginning, and because you claim you got all of this stuff, and furthermore, this man says that with this book, any chapter you're on, there's going to be like a QR code where you can scan it and the proof will actually show up based on that chapter. He also said he's going to do movie trailers. He also said he's going to do billboards. Negro, please. Really? Who does all of that for a book? Who does all of that for a book? Even celebrities don't do all of that for a book. Even Superhead didn't do all of that for a book. Are you kidding me? QR codes, movie trailers, billboards. So I'm just like, okay. This is interesting. And so he continues to talk about Jada and how Jada treats everyone, how Jada treats Will, how he even says the way that she talks to Will. And honestly, again, that's probably believable. I don't know, but he even says that she almost talked about being bending him over. Like he tries to imply that, and says the way that she talks to him is just horrible. And then he moves on to say that he makes it seem like J-Lo and Jada had some type of rift, maybe that J-Lo was supposed to do the low down dirty shame movie, and Jada did whatever she could to get that, which is interesting because I don't know if you guys saw that article like a year ago, but there was an article where J-Lo, I guess, was auditioning dancers, and she made an announcement asking people if they were Virgos, and she didn't want Virgos, I guess, as far as dancers. We know Jada's a Virgo, and it makes me wonder if she's kind of been like anti-Virgo since. But from there, taking that actual character, she took that acting role. He alleges that Jada and Mark Anthony had a thing, and Jada and Mark Anthony had a thing, and she got to the point where she was disrespectful and literally was having freaky tales with Mark Anthony on the couch in the house, and Will caught her. And apparently the issue wasn't because apparently they have escapades and do what they do, and he even mentions that they was trying to get with Diddy and J-Lo apparently back in the day. So the issue wasn't that, the fact that if he was aware of it. I guess the issue was that he walked in and he wasn't aware of it or wasn't given permission. I don't know. But let him tell it, because of that, he lost his shit and apparently allegedly beat the brakes off of Jada. So much so that they had to create a hospital in the house to pretty much nurse her back to health, and she had to get surgery. And as we know, we did notice a change in Jada's face. And he did mention that the cheeks is where she really got the reconstructive surgery. And, I'm thinking maybe it's just, like Botox, or, as people get older, they want to do things to kind of make themselves look youthful. But let him tell it, it's because of this alleged beating. And since then, she already had control over him. He already was complicit, and he was trying to do anything he can. But apparently when that happened, all hell broke loose, and it was just like she can pretty much dangle that, and he doesn't want to be seen as someone who has done that or does that to women. But my whole thing is, you dumbass, you done said it to everyone at this point. You said it. So at this point, don't matter, like, Jada. I mean, if Jada said at this point, like, you have said it. So in other words, someone could run with it at this point. Like, you, if anything, you trying to say Jada would try to ruin him. You're trying to ruin him. So, and then of course, he just, I don't know, y'all. Like, I just felt like there were so many freaking things. So many things where I was just like, this is not adding up. It feels like there's a sprinkle of truth, but it's just like some of this stuff, to me, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. And your reasoning for it. I'm thinking when he said the reasoning for why they sat up there and fell out was going to be much bigger than this product placement stuff. Do y'all realize this happens consistently? People are told to bring stuff on set or do certain things or whatever the case may be, marketing stuff, and then at the last minute it's axed. You know what I mean? Like, that type of stuff happens all the time. But if you about your business, you got some type of contracts in order where if they don't take everything, accept everything, you getting paid regardless, or at least you getting partial amounts of your money. That's your fault for not having contracts in together for your actual business. And even if you did and you have those contracts, take it to court. Take it to court. So, I just honestly, I don't know. What do y'all think? I know y'all been going in on the comments, but what do you guys think about this? Like, I just feel like it seems like he's been waiting. He's been calculating and he's been waiting to use this as a come up. It just is very interesting. And he said he lives in another country because he feels like they're going to come for him. And it's not necessarily Will and Jada, but the people who pretty much protect Will and Jada, or I would just say Will. But I just feel like he's one of those guys that he feels like everything has been taken from him and now he's trying to get revenge. But at the same time, I do feel like he always kept all of the stuff on the back of his mind so he could pull this out when it was convenient. Because at this point, it almost seems like he can't work in the business. Like, I feel like there's another story that's not being told that possibly includes him. And that's the real reason why him and Will ended up having an issue. He's not really implicating himself in anything. It's always things happening to him. I don't know about that. I feel like there is something much more deeper where if they sat up there and they separated and are no longer friends, something much deeper than product placement and gift boxes is the reason. It just is not adding up. Let me see. What happened that made him feel he had to move out of the country? Him talking. That's what it is. He's claiming that him talking can cause issues. Yeah. It seems he was looking for the payout. He said on Comedy Height he moved to Saudi Arabia. So why is he trying to be secretive now? I'm telling y'all, it's just something ain't adding up. It's not adding up. And y'all already know, because when I did one of my first videos with Will and Jada, I said, look, I'm not big fans of either one of them. I've grown up with them and have seen them throughout my life with, shows and movies that they've done, but I have never been a diehard fan of either one of them. So I don't have a bone to pick in this situation. I'm not one of those celebrity worshipers that's trying to protect Will or even Jada. But when something's not adding up to me, something's not adding up to me. And Tasha allowed this man to just pretty much tell his story how he wanted to tell his story. She didn't, and it's interesting that she said that there was a lady who was interviewing Jada and how this lady didn't ask Jada the difficult questions and even implied that Jada lies. And Bilal said that when they sit down with people, there's only certain questions and certain things that can be approved. Otherwise, they cannot use the interview. Well, that's something that definitely happens in the industry, and that's definitely believable. But it's funny how Tasha said no one asks the difficult questions. But in reality, Tasha did not ask him any difficult questions. She didn't ask him any difficult questions. She didn't challenge anything that he was saying. She just let him go and flow. And I was just like, well, you not ask him no difficult questions. Because I would have been like, that's the reason why you sat up there and 2 years of a bad situation, over 36 years of a good friendship, almost 40 years. This is the reason. So for me, I was just like, but you can't talk about somebody else not asking the difficult questions when clearly you didn't do the same thing. And at the same time, he wanted to make it be known that you didn't pay him for the interview. And I guess apparently there weren't allegedly anything signed or anything like that. So as far as I see it, you had so much opportunity to challenge the things that he's saying. Exactly. Exactly. So it was just like contradictions all the way around. Contradictions all the way around. Tasha is messy. That's why when she came out crying and saying she was changing, I didn't believe it. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do. Because everyone has a right to change. Everyone has a right to change. Everyone has a right to grow and learn from their mistakes and their lessons. But child, like this, I was just like, ugh. And again, she's getting the attention. Hell, she been in the freaking news for the past couple of weeks. She's getting the attention for this. I think she already had like 400,000 views for this, and she just posted it 2 days ago or maybe yesterday. She's getting the views for it, but she just let them talk. She didn't challenge nothing at all. Well, within 36 days, he'll fall out with Tasha, and then she'll drop more gems or her true feelings and never fails with Tasha. You got a point there, Tashonda. Because she let people talk until they piss her off. And then once they piss her off, then all hell breaks loose. And then, of course, he made it seem like, he'll come back in a couple of weeks because he got more interviews to do. I was completely almost fell out my chair when this fool said he going to have QR codes in every chapter. So when you scan it, you actually see the proof. And he got movie trailers and everything. And then when he was trying to reach Will and he had the slap, he said of all people that reached out to him randomly, I suppose, was Dwayne Martin. And I'm like, but you making it seem like you don't really have a relationship with Dwayne Martin. So why would he randomly contact you and then contact you to say that Will had his Tupac moments? I just don't see now. My thing is, it's either one or two things happen. He was trying to call Dwayne because he couldn't get a hold of Will, or Will maybe told Dwayne to reach out to Bilal because he saw that Bilal was trying to reach him. But that story didn't add up either. Why Dwayne randomly calling you to tell you that? Yeah, when he said a QR code, I said, what in the hell is this? Wait, I got to have the QR code and you're going to see the proof of everything. And I'm doing movie trailers. I'm doing billboards. I'm doing it big. You want a moment. You want a moment, baby. Like, this is what it is for you. You wanted a moment. You sound like you've always wanted that stardom, that attention, and you never really got it. So now you're trying to get it now in the worst way. I guess Tasha not scared of another lawsuit. She still have the Cardi case over her head and the R. Kelly case. And the R. Kelly case. She's been going in on others, especially Tasha from escaping her husband. Yeah, like she got other stuff that's coming up. Then she got apparently this assistant that's apparently going to talk. Tasha got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. So, yeah, I just, I think that because of him knowing Will and he sprinkled some truth in there or sprinkled some things in there that we were already hearing or feeling, I think that that's why he can get away with a lot of this and people are not questioning the things that, people should be asking. But yeah, I don't know if I necessarily believe all of it. I don't. It's not adding up to me. It's not adding up. If you know that Jada don't like you and Jada's team is running Will at this point, you sound crazy as hell to be trying to do business with them at that point. Like it doesn't make sense. What's his last name? Because I need to know his net worth because he's doing a lot of spending for him not to have a regular gig. I don't know his last name. They could just call him Brother Bilal. I don't know his last name. I don't even know if I want to know his last name. I don't even know what his IG is. What's really bothered me about Bilal is he said Will was close to harming himself. He still came out with this, which could push. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. To me, it seemed like it was a setup from the beginning. It seemed like it was a setup from the beginning. You know the emotional roller coaster this man has gone through. So why would you do this? And just because you give him certain props, because he tried to say, almost imply, well, even though he may have feminine qualities, or he can be feminine at times, he can whoop the average man's butt. He was, training for the Muhammad Ali movie. And I'm like, but at the same time, you saying he bent over. And it's like you trying to compliment him, but low key passive aggressive diss him at the same time. So then say I did see that what happened to her and the assistant, as if Chelsea, it may be tea. Well, apparently, she talking about she dropping some tea. But apparently Chelsea allegedly is known for doing that. Apparently she had a book out with Jason Lee. She worked for Jason Lee before she worked for Tasha. Yeah, a trailer about him in this book. That's what he's trying to do. Trailers for a book. Not a movie, but a book. And this is why I said, oh, this is stunting for real. This is stunting for real. I've never heard anybody. One of the most salacious books that truly started all of this tell-all book stuff was Superhead. Superhead. She was really the one who really started the salacious stuff. We had salacious books before, but hers truly in this day and age really took it to a freaking other level. She didn't do all of that. She just did her basic interviews and kept it moving. QR codes, and granted, maybe because technology wasn't that big, but QR codes, movie trailers, billboards, homie, for real. For real. And who is supplying all of this? Because he said he was independent. And Tasha recommended that he stayed independent so he could just keep his money and just keep it on Amazon. So I'm like, who's paying for all of this? Like, who's paying for it? Yeah, it's messy. Oh, I have been missing everything in these internet streets. Never heard of a trailer for a book. Neither have I. Yes, the contradiction that's getting me. Exactly. He also in an interview that Will and Jada SA people, I hope. Yeah. And you better have proof for everything you saying, bruh. You better have proof for everything you saying. But like I said, I also said, if they actually don't sue him, then we really got to be like, okay, what the hell is going on? But the fact that he's doing all of this, I just don't see how there was ever a friendship. Because let me tell you something. I'm not cut from that cloth. Like, if I call you my friend, even if you dog me, it's gonna hurt. For damn sure it's gonna hurt. And I mean dog me, not no product placement shit. If you dog me, yeah, it hurts. But I've never been on some get back. Because at the end of the day, karma will fix you. It will. And I've had people who dog me trying to get back in to my life. And it's a hell no. Because again, I can forgive you, but I won't forget. But the fact that he's taking it this far, I'm like, I don't see how you could ever say you was his friend. I don't see how you could ever say you was his friend. But if he's independent, why did he have to delay his book because of Jay? You, Tashonda, there you go. There you go. But he claims he's not claiming. I don't know. Did he claim that he delayed it, or did he claim that once they heard he was coming out with it, they pushed hers up? So I don't know if it's necessarily a delay or the fact that he's trying to make it seem like once they heard he was coming out with a book, they scrambled and did whatever they could to make sure her book got put out there. Didn't Jada speak out on this interview here lately? Yes, she said on the Breakfast Club that apparently the reason why they fell out is because there was some type of agreement for some money. And I guess apparently, allegedly, Will agreed to a certain amount. Bilal didn't like it, and they fell out because of that. But that she doesn't really know all the details behind it, but she does know that they're going to pursue legal action. And then she even said on a TMZ quickly when she got like in the car that she was like, we're suing, we're taking legal action. That's what she said. Now, Will don't ever say anything, but that's what Jada is saying. You never win when you play dirty. I think Jada always knew he was a snake, and that's why she didn't like him. He seems to overstep. Whatever Will allows his wife to do is Will's business. Yeah, possibly. But here's the thing. I don't necessarily doubt him when he says Jada is a bitch. I'm just going to be honest. I don't doubt him. I already felt like there's resentment in that relationship because Jada feels like, she never got the career that she wanted. I don't put it past her. She may have certain people that she get along with in the industry, but overall, is she really a loved figure in the industry, or is her husband the loved figure in the industry? You know what I'm saying? But again, and I mean, you got a point with that, Nene. Just because she may be a bitch, don't necessarily mean that she still didn't spot his ass from a mile away. He claims she evil and all of that stuff. Maybe she recognized him because she understands what's in him is inside of her, for all we know. You know what I'm saying? It could be that type of situation. It could be that where she like, look, I know game. I done been through some shit. I know how things get down, and I'm telling you, he ain't shit. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Who knows? They pushed hers up. Right. She knew he wasn't right. He sprinkled a little truth about some things because we knew Jada running things. Yeah. Exactly. Game recognized game. That's the best way to put it. She know the game. He know the game, and she realized he was playing the game just like her. But Jada was like, no, I'm the wife in this situation, and I'm the only one who's gonna be playing games here. And again, I'm not saying Will is innocent in all of this, but it just makes you like, it almost comes off like if you really want fame and you really want to take your way to the top and you want to do everything you can to get there, you just may have to do it alone. Because it's like at this point, it's like all of this shows you can't trust nobody. You can't trust somebody you knew before the fame. You can't trust nobody, you know what I'm saying, like that you got married to and you're sleeping with. You can't trust nobody. And, you know what? Hey, what we do know is, and what seems to be somebody who has been able to rock with him, and they seem to be maybe still friends. I don't know. Maybe Jazzy Jeff. Maybe that is his only, from the beginning, his Philly days. That is the one that has always stayed true. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's his lone, like that's the true ride or die in the situation, because this is crazy. This is crazy. They don't have an open relationship anyways. Well, let him tell it. That's what they was doing. He let him tell it. They was, freaky telling with other people together, allegedly. It seems like the two people he has the most disdain for were Dwayne and Jada. Will just catching strays. Yeah, and why do you have so much disdain? I can understand maybe you have disdain for Jada because how she was treating your boy and how she treats you. But why do you have so much disdain for Dwayne? If they have a secret relationship and will want to spend money on Dwayne and they doing their thing, why do you care? What does his relationship with Dwayne have to do with your friendship with him? What does that have to do with anything? And true indeed, I can understand your disdain maybe more so for Jada, because if it's interfering in your business situation and you feel like Will doesn't have the balls to focus and do his thing as far as a man with business, and always got Jada interfering, I can understand the frustration. But the Dwayne situation, I didn't understand. I did not understand. And then he had to try to say at the end, they can just come clean. My book isn't out yet. They can just come clean. Clean about what? Some of the stuff that you're talking about is no one's business. Some of the stuff you're talking about is no one's business. Like, it really isn't. So that's why I'm just like, come clean about what? Huh? Come clean about what? Yeah, she sure did say that. Jazzy Jeff. Yeah, they've been friends since like kids. It's real open. They have been separated since 2016. Now, also heard the show Hawthorne Jada was canceled because because her and Mark Anthony was getting way too close and that scene was way too real. Well, apparently they got real on the couch in Will's house. Child. Now let Bilal tell it he is a heterosexual man. But I just feel like certain things about the sexual stuff, that was nobody's business. It's no one's business. To me, he is being what Dame Dash says all the time, a chatty patty. He's being a chatty patty. So I'm like, seriously. I mean, he's not exposing anything but trying to embarrass them. Right. And really at the end of the day, and honestly, let's be clear about marketing skills, shall we? If you about to do a big interview like this, your book should be like literally out by this week or next week, because people forget easily. 1 minute this is a big deal, next week something else big is going to happen and people are going to forget about it. So if you really going to do some marketing, this is what I'm saying, you don't know what you're doing. Because to me, if you was going to do a big interview like this book should be out. So as soon as they sit up there and see this interview, they can click on a link that you give Tasha and buy your book. So you ain't playing this right. You are not playing this right at all whatsoever. I can't see Will cracking Jada's head, but the rest I feel there's truth, but I didn't need the dang details. Exactly. Oh Lord, y'all talking about that green again. Yeah, he had to prove that too hard, being a manly straight man. Yeah. People's sexual preference is their business, and he thinks saying Will slept around and Jada sleeps around, no one cares. Exactly. Especially when you've heard about these rumors for years anyways. Who cares? So what, you trying to confirm what the rumors have been for years? I'm telling you, the way that he's setting this up, by the time his book come out, I don't think anyone's going to care. He should have sat up there and literally had this book out as soon as he knew Tasha was going to post this interview. That's when he should have had the book out. So you could just get those people who are real quick to spend their money and get the book ASAP. By the time this book come out, I don't know if anyone's going to care. I don't know. Yes, how about a QR code for the book? Exactly. Why you talking about a QR code for proof? Get a QR code for the book for Tasha, so she could have posted it. When he was on Comedy Hype, he was showing the book. He didn't with Tasha. He's a shady character. Oh, so he was showing the book. I didn't see that part. Maybe I didn't see all of Comedy Hype. I felt like the Comedy Hype one was boring as hell. And maybe because Tasha's more salacious, but yeah, okay, so he was showing the book, but again, the book is not out. And admitting he's bi is supposed to revive Will's career. Yeah, and he claimed to be honest about everything. I guess is supposed to revive his career. I don't know. I don't think Will's career has gone off this man has been on the top for 30 years and he's still producing stuff. He's still making money in his sleep. Now, you may not see him in a movie for a very long time, but that ain't stopping the powerhouse that he is in this industry. Like, this man has several successful shows and he produces several different things that is still making money. He really didn't need to put out a book because he's telling everything anyway in his interview, and most of this we already knew anyways, right? But my thing is, if you're gonna market correctly, because again, people have short-term memory nowadays. It's always like, as y'all can see, this past couple of weeks we have had so many things to talk about. You get a couple of more salacious scandals going around, they're gonna be like, Bilal who? Oh, the one who was trying to put out the book. Oh, we over that. No one's gonna care anymore. So if you was gonna be smart about it, sir, you should have sat up there and already had it done. And I'm wondering if this book is gonna come out at this point. It's gonna be quite interesting. And you probably don't have it that. Thank you. Now, Nene, you said he actually showed the book. What, he show a book cover? Was there actually pages in the book, or did he show the cover? Like, did he show the cover? What did he do? Leave it up to Nene. Leave it up to Nene. I don't smoke and I be forgetting. I just got too much stuff going on in my own world to be caring about his book. But I'm wondering if he actually showed a book with words in it, or he showed a cover looking like a book. Yeah, be look out this week. Exactly. She took the show for sure. It was a cover, probably was blank pages inside. Exactly. So do y'all have something to say? I'll put the link down to see if you guys have something to say about this. I think you guys have definitely given your opinion as far as in the chat. I just think something in the buttermilk ain't clean, and he's not really being honest, in my opinion, about why he's really mad at Will. You cannot tell me that gift box thing is the reason, because he couldn't even give anything that will make you say, oh, dang, that's effed up. Yeah, it was effed up that they didn't use you at the end and you had all of this product, but that's not worth 36 years of you pretty much working for your quote unquote friend and also having all of this access and being able to save your money, because he claimed he was able to save his money because Will paid for everything. It just is not adding up. It was a hologram of a book. I'm not buying it. I'll let y'all feel me, and I ain't buying it either. All right, so we got Nene coming up. Hey, girl.
Hey, Chris.
So what's your take on this?
I think some of the stuff he was saying was true, but a lot of the stuff he was saying was like rumors that everybody already heard, and he just added to it. It was just like a whole bunch of gossip. To me, at the end of the day, he never said anything that would have justified him trying to expose Will in the way that he did. Like, it seemed like it boiled down to Jada is not a nice person. Okay, we've kind of already seen that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's still Will's wife. And he's not supposed to go against his wife for nobody. At the end of the day, if it was a contract that went wrong or whatever, why didn't you just sue them?
Right.
I don't think that he's really truthful. And I think that Jada, like, when you're with a man, your man or whatever, no matter how people might think the dynamics are in their relationship, she's still gonna peep when people not doing right by her dude. And she's going to probably be on the defenses. And that's probably why she never liked dudes. She probably always knew he was a snake. And that's what it's turning out look like to me. I feel like nothing that he came out with makes me look at Will and Jada any different. I'm not a fan of theirs.
What we already knew.
Right. And
Like,
and honestly, it's none of our business. If it's
right.
okay for them, like, if they're with other consenting adults and it works for them, what happens in someone else's marriage has nothing to do with anybody else. That's their life. It's probably stuff that people do in their own homes. I would like to hear what's going on with him. Is he married?
Thank you.
What
What's
is he
going on
doing?
in your own bedroom? How about that?
And I don't believe, and he don't look like a Muslim. He look like he eat chitlins. That is pork swollen fat around it. I don't believe it. He looks like he just ate a pork chop sandwich. He's a liar.
Oh, like he kept saying, well, because of my beliefs, like I can't lie, I can't do
because I'm a Muslim.
speculation. I'm like, as if everybody in every religion don't lie. Come
And
on now.
and that's why I was really like, that's your truth. I mean, look at what Christians do. Everybody, the religion does not negate you from being a liar.
Exactly. And my whole thing is, even if Jada freaky tailed her way to the top, even if Jada is a snake like he claimed, like you said, game recognize game, a snake can recognize a snake. And the thing is that if this is my protection, I'm gonna protect what's mine and what I quote unquote freaky tailed my way to get, then yeah, you gotta go.
It
You know
sounds
what I'm
like
saying?
it's like he was just like he overstepped. It wasn't his place. That was my whole thing. I'm like, at the end of the day, why are you talking about stuff that really is none of your business? And my thing is, he leaned in on because Tasha K's platform. She's very big on being homophobic. Homophobia is like real, like a comfort zone between her and her followers. So I feel like between the comedy hype, he was like really boring, just like going in on Jada. He turned it up a notch and he knew exactly what he was doing because no one was talking about that interview. That was over a month ago. And you were on that platform showing the book and this, that, and the third. So why didn't you show the book? The book should have been released already. It's been over a month.
That's what I'm saying. He's not smart. Like if you and see, this is why it's either one, you're not smart with how business works and how people work, or two, you ain't got no book.
Right. And it
And
just
you know,
and it hurt my heart though. Like really, I was like laughing at a lot of the stuff, but it bothered me when he was like that Will was contemplating that self-harm and all this stuff. And then if I don't care, I have friends that I done fell out with. If you were my friend and I cared about you the way you claimed you cared about Will, nothing was that deep between y'all to where if
you
you
better
know
do this. You better preach.
because what if he does hurt himself? At the end of the day, these are people. I don't care how much money you have. Feelings are feelings, and people go through stuff. We see it all the time where celebrities end up doing stuff to themselves. I don't want that on my conscience. And I'm like, Tasha K was crying and all that, doing well, and this and that, and I'm gonna change. And then you're still releasing stuff about that. All money ain't good money. All fame is not good fame. You have to have some kind of integrity. And
See, that's the problem, though, Nene. That's why I said earlier. I think we're living in a day and age where we just truly have people who are soulless zombies. I think we say you got to have some integrity. Nene, your camera on, boo.
oh, it is.
Turn
Oh,
it off.
I know
But literally, we say that because we have integrity. So because we have integrity, that's why we're so quick to say you got to have integrity, because we're like, we can't live life without integrity in our world. So that means that you would think that other people will have it. But I'm just learning more and more. Some people just don't have it. They don't.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I wrote a comment on her thing. Her little click went in on me. And they're like, "Well, she's just like Wendy Williams on the internet." And I said, "Well, Wendy Williams did all that stuff over the years, and
And
karma
look what
came."
happened.
Right? I'm like, so that's not really a flex. Like what you put out there, it
It's
comes
what
back
you
to
get in
you.
return.
Right. So you got to be careful with that. And it's like, listen, I like messy, but it's certain things it's like certain boundaries. I'm like, yeah, that's not cool. And I really felt like his whole tactic was humiliation. He wanted to go viral. He wanted to do this. He wanted to do that. And it's accomplished. But if they serious about that lawsuit, he's in trouble because he said a lot of stuff in that interview. And
Yeah.
and I know Will got the money for a good attorney, and they're gonna be like, this was just liable and to try to hurt his bag, like to try to hurt his pockets. That's basically, it was malicious. It was nothing else. He came out with nothing but malice. I hope it was worth it.
Well, I mean, and that's why I said I truly tried to look at this from a balanced perspective, like I always do. And I'm like, I don't care if it's even celebrities that I don't care for. like I said, I literally don't have a love-hate relationship even with Will or Jada. I just know them as a celebrities, acting, rapping, whatever. I have no dog in this fight, but I literally listened to this interview multiple times. I say, "Oh, I'm taking notes." Because it's not adding up to me. And I'm listening to this and I'm like looking like something's not right. Something's not right. It's not feeling right. And the stuff that he's saying is not adding up. And I'm not saying that, you know, there isn't truth to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be that Will and is bisexual. Ain't none of our business. You know what I'm saying? But it could be. It could be that he has a relationship allegedly with Dwayne. It could be. But where he's claiming he saw this and how he walked in on them,
I don't believe that.
yeah, I'm just like, come on now. Like, do you think we stupid? These men didn't hear you open up the dressing room door. Come on. Like, I was just like, who you are just so salacious. And again, the fact that Tasha wasn't challenging anything, it's almost also seems like it's for the click and the views. It's for the click and views. And we know she owed money. She owed money. So I guess at this point, you know what I'm saying? If she really, I guess, don't care. But like you said, all money ain't good money, but that's the way that we think. Like at the end of the day, I can laugh and I can joke and we can sit up there and clown these reality show stars and people and have fun. But to the point of you destroying people's lives.
Yeah, that's not cool. But see, with like reality shows though, that's stuff that they're putting out there. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
That's
That's
true.
different.
That is
This is
true.
like you going out and putting stuff, telling other people's story. You should never tell anybody else's story. I'm a
Right.
big support on that. Like reality shows, y'all go on the thing, whether you're saying it's scripted or not, you're presenting that as your life. So yeah, we're going to judge
Mhm.
you because you came on. But saw something and it made a lot of sense. And somebody said, how come when black celebrities are like really close with their best friends, the gay rumors start? But nobody says that about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Like they are really close. No one says that, but they've done this to Will and Dwayne Martin, and Oprah and Gail have them rumors.
Right. That's
But
true.
nobody else does that. And I just feel like sometimes when we feel like a black celebrity has gotten too quote unquote uppity or whatever, it's like we like to try to tear them
Tear them
down as
down.
well.
Tear them down. And it could be a mixture of that and could also be a mixture of because a lot of us don't come with I would say a lot of us come from very humble beginnings and very, what I'm saying, shaky beginnings, that it also can be an issue where once they reach a certain amount of fame, they do act a certain way or they do become mean, evil, bitchy, or whatever the case may be, and people want to expose them. But you still have a point that it's more so that it's black people that constantly do the exposing, because you're not going to be able to convince me that other celebrities, white, Hispanic, Asian, that they don't have these type of Hollywood attitudes either. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. So, but why they not getting called out?
Because they don't, we have that uppity, ooh, you uppity, you this, you don't keep it real anymore. But I just think it's sad. Like it was entertaining, but to me, you just never tell somebody else's story. And to
Especially
me,
when we
that
don't
was
know your story, Bilal. We don't know you. We don't know who you. We don't know your story. So you so busy telling other people's quote unquote private business. Yeah, that's interesting. That's
and he
interesting.
never said anything that like Will really did to him or
Right.
really they were mean to me.
They were mean to me. I recorded it. That's why I was just like, are you serious? Did you just really tell us this petty shit is the reason why you started all of this? I was like, he said, because even Tasha was like, well, what did they say? I mean, they was like, well, what kind of companies can you bring? Like, well, like they was just horrible to me. I even recorded them and they was like, well, we don't need you. You didn't really do anything anyways. And I'm like, so this is the reason why you claim all of this fallout happened, even though there's 30 years of you claiming good memories, get out of here with this nonsense. This sounds so petty and something that could easily be corrected between you and Will once he gets himself together, or if you had to go to court about it. But it sounds like to me, again, he don't have his business together, in my opinion, because like I said, if you knew Jada's team was in there and she don't like you, where your contracts at to make sure that people sign off on what you're supposed to get, even if they decide to maybe not go through with everything, that you're going to get something. There's some retainer or something. That to me shows you don't know how to handle business, because if you left out of there with them not giving you anything and you had thousands of dollars worth of product, I don't know if you spent it or what, or you spent that type of money, that sounds like that's your fault, boo-boo.
And it seems like he didn't really have much of a business savvy outside of his dealings with Will, because okay, let's say that went down, but if he's used these people in the past and he has all these other celebrities, quote unquote, he works with, how could that one incident ruin your
Affect you like that.
whole business like that? So you're lying. No, you may have a lot of pictures on your Instagram and stuff with celebrities. That's because you were around Will Smith. That don't mean you worked with them people. That doesn't mean that you actually, he like I said, like you said, it was some sprinkles of truth, but it was a lot of exaggeration and clout chasing. Like at the end of the day, you came out with an agenda to get paid. So Tasha K might not have paid you, but you going on other interviews to get paid, and you knew to go on there. You knew that Tasha K would get you the audience that that you
For the
needed.
attention, not for the
Yeah,
book, for the attention. But my whole thing is this. This is another thing that tells me this is a man that probably didn't really know what his talent was. He was just in my opinion, he sounds like a hanger on, and he didn't really have talent, and he just trying to find a way to a niche to just get in and be able to make money. Because baby, when he said my product placement, he was bragging about his product placement, honey. He was like, my product placement, like, you've seen the pictures, you've seen this, my product placement. I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna brag about your product placement, brag about the business side of your product placement to make sure that you're gonna get paid. It don't sound like you had your business together. So to me, it sounds like you just got thrown into this. You felt like you was good at it to actually know how to do it and had to access the clientele because of Will. But on the business side, you ain't never had your paperwork in order, allegedly, in my opinion.
yeah. It was good. I'm just waiting to see who the next.
Interviewer is
I won't even watch another interview of his because I just
right.
feel like I wanted to watch the comedy hype one prior to watching Natasha K, because I like to get both sides. I'm like, let's see how consistent he is. And he did not mention half the stuff in that first interview that he did with Tasha K. He didn't do all that name dropping, and I mean the energy was completely different. And that's why I was like, yeah, you're a liar. Because if your thing was just to talk, you would have said everything in the comedy hype as well.
Exactly.
Why did you wait once you saw the comedy hype didn't get you where you wanted to be? You said, oh, I'm gonna get Tasha Cake. And she invites Messy because that's her brand.
That's her brand. But here's the thing: if she truly, because she sometimes try to make it seem like she's a journalist. I don't know,
Yeah.
but here's my thing. As a journalist, you want to do your research on what he's done prior to you. And one thing I will say is that people doing interviews, even if you are gonna lie, consistency is key. To me, when you have people like, one thing, for example, Monique has been consistent in every video she has talked about with the whole situation with Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Oprah. She was constantly saying the same thing. It was consistent, consistent, consistent. How do you go from comedy hype interview saying something totally different or not saying any of the stuff that you said in Tasha K video, and then literally a month later you spilling all of this stuff? It just seems like you wanted to take the stakes higher so you can get attention. So that's why it's just like it's not, it's just, yeah.
Yeah,
When I took them notes, I said, baby, something ain't right. Like, you can't, I was born at night, but not last night, and you ain't fooling me over him.
But Jada really introduced all of this, being able to.
Talk on Red Table Talk, yeah. Yeah, you talking about
That
Red
was
Table Talk?
that was the worst thing she could have ever did. Yeah,
Exactly.
that was the worst thing she could have ever done because it was, she showed the crack in their marriage, and people, he was like, okay, and then the slap happened. Well, no, she admitted the entanglement, and then Will's reputation changed, and he was getting clowned, and he was like, and then the slap, and then her book, he was like, oh, this is my perfect opportunity, and that opportunist took the opportunity, and I don't know what he thinks going to happen out there, because none of us are going to buy that book.
Yeah, I showed
I
him.
mean, we nosy. We gonna take the free samples, and we'll see who reviews it. But I mean, he really hasn't. Listen, personally, I don't want to see any pictures. If he had pictures of Will doing whatever he wants to do, I'm fine on not ever knowing that. But I feel like I know enough. I mean, it was interesting, and I'm just waiting to see what the next celebrity.
The next celebrity scandal gonna be, because at this point, like I said, if you was gonna play this smart, that's why I'm like, how you been around people in this industry for that many years and you don't know how to be about business? I'm like, as soon as Tasha told you she was gonna put it on her website and put it on YouTube, there should have been a QR code for your book so people can buy it. Ain't nobody gonna be thinking about that dang on book even probably by next week.
Yeah,
So
because
it's
who
just
knows?
like it's crazy.
Because stuff been dropping like back to back every
Back to
couple of
back.
days. Somebody
I'm
else is.
like, damn, can we have Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff without? I'm just like, good grief. Like, it's back to back stuff. It's girl, I can't keep up.
Because remember, Britney Spears' book was all the talk, and that got blown out the water like soon as everything else started coming out. Nobody's talking about Britney Spears in that book anymore.
Exactly. That's why I said people got short term memories, and Britney Spears still has a major following. Who the hell is Bilal?
Right. We don't even know his last name.
Thank you. They just call him Brother Bilal, and Brother Bilal live in another country at this point.
Trying to Google Brother Bilal is not coming up.
And then my whole thing is the only thing that I feel like Will lied on in that video is that he said that Bilal lost 100 pounds. Where?
That's the same thing I said. I said,
I said where? He said he read that part saying he lost 100 pounds. Where? He lost he
yeah,
lost 100 pounds, or did he gain it back? Because I'm confused. When he said that, I said, okay, you was really trying to big up your boy, because I'm like, you probably lied that part in the book, because I'm like, ain't no way in the hell he lost 100 pounds.
he said with his vegan thing. I said, see, now I really don't trust him because that food is. I don't never trust a fat vegan. How are you
But
fat
here's the problem with
and a
being a
vegan?
vegan. Because look, I'm be honest with you. I was a fat vegan. At one point, I was doing vegan, but here's the problem: Oreo cookies are vegan. Okay, you can eat Oreo cookies all day and say you're vegan. You know
And
what I'm
French
saying?
fries, yeah, because technically,
Exactly. So you can eat a whole lot of bad stuff and say that you're vegan. You know what I'm
uh,
saying? So that's why I was just like, nah, unless you eating some raw fruits and veggies or something, like get the heck up out of here. But yeah, but with that being said, yeah, he gained it back. Because usually, even if somebody is really, really big, to lose 100 pounds, you're gonna see it, whether it's in the neck, you're gonna start seeing it. So I'm like, 100 pounds, when did that happen? Because when he was reading it in this video that he showed, I was like, that don't look like 100 pounds. But again, that's just my opinion. But I appreciate you, Nene. Yeah, because this, I'm glad, because even when you sent me that message saying he was cloud chasing, I the first time I heard it, I was like, this is not adding up. Then I had to listen to it again, and I was taking notes, and I was like, this man is full of it right now. So but I am curious to see if they're gonna sue him. I'm curious to see if they're going to sue him. I'm curious to see who they're going to sue and if they actually are going to sue. Now, let me ask you this before we get off. Do you feel if they don't sue, there's something up?
yeah, if they don't sue, that means he does have something that they don't want out. That's my opinion, because no one would. Because honestly, I could let a lot of stuff slide, but he did indicate that they were SAing people, and I think that needs to be addressed. So maybe they were waiting to file suit until the actual interview dropped.
Right, right.
And now that the interview dropped, they know everything. Like Jada had said, they don't really care what people, they've been having rumors about them. But for you, you can have your opinion about them, but to say you know something is fact is a different thing.
Yeah,
And
because
the
he
most,
claimed he had proof on everything. Everything.
yeah, she slept her way to the top, and this, I mean, he just really was just gossiping. It was just like looking at two old women sitting at a table,
Yeah,
just
chatty patty stuff. Chatty patty. That ain't man behavior. I'm sorry. It's not like it was chatty patty stuff. It really was. And at this point, and that's who he looked like. Don't who's old enough to remember Fat Albert? Y'all remember Fat Albert? Hey, Fat Albert. That's that is Fat Albert. And now the one when he got them glasses on, that's Nutty Professor vibes. But Fat Albert is what I'm getting off of. But anywho, with that being said, so we're gonna have to wait and see. But like I said, at a certain point, we're not gonna care. We're not.
no.
But yeah, but I appreciate you coming up and for us to have this dialogue. But yeah, so we'll see. But with that, you guys, exactly. So y'all know, hey, that's the vibe. All he missing is the red sweater and the jeans. That's what he missing. But yeah, you guys. So with that being said, I'm curious where he lives. I think Nene said he said Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah, that's what he said on Comedy Hype. But then he got on Tasha K, act like it was a undisclosed location. I'm like, can you not even remember what you said a month ago?
Right. And interesting enough, they tried to say that Jada don't be remembering her lies, but yet you was just on Comedy Hype and you was talking something totally different.
But that's how you know Tasha really don't be wanting to get to the truth, because she never even referenced that other interview.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, it just seems like it's just for the mess, because to reference that interview, if anything, there was so many difficult questions she could have asked him, but if anything, you definitely could have said, well, why didn't you say some of this in that other interview? If anything, like, why didn't you say? But again, I think a lot of people go to her just to simply drop the mess to her and let her take all of the drama that comes with it, because that's what happened with that whole Cardi situation. This random girl dropped all of this mess on Tasha K's freaking video interview, and then have we heard from her? Did she get to? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta understand there's certain things that you may want to take and certain things that you don't want to take, but again, maybe she doesn't care. Everyone, her name is out there. She still got over 1 million subscribers. She probably got a good amount of subscribers on her website. So hey, I guess it is what it is for her. And just like with Wendy Williams, it is what it was for her for a very long time, until her stuff started to get exposed. And we haven't seen her since. Like, it's so interesting how it took one salacious scandal on her for her to completely plummet and just go downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Just one thing. Now, while it was very salacious, it was huge, but this one thing, not multiple things, but this one scandal about her, while she has talked about multiple scandals, either in public or not in public, but this one scandal about you has taken her downhill. So, like you said, you got to be mindful what you put out there, but at the same time, I guess like we're gonna focus on ourselves. But I mean, hey, we clearly clicked in on it to watch it though. So I guess in her mind, look, it is what it is. But I did see that there was just a notification on my phone. Looked like she giving some type of apology to some people. So I don't know. Maybe it's a consistent situation, allegedly. Maybe, I don't know. But let some people tell us she's never gonna learn her lesson. But
I'm them people. She ain't never gonna learn.
Yeah, so but I appreciate you, Nene. I'm gonna drop you down and I'm gonna end this live. Right. And I appreciate you so much.
All right. Good night.
Good night. All right, you guys. So with that being said, I appreciate you coming to the second live today. Hope I was able to break down this interview for you guys. In my opinion, Bilal, yeah, at this point, I don't know what you're gonna do wherever you live, homie. But maybe you move there because your dollars that you have can stretch forever at this point, because I don't know if you ever gonna be able to come back to the United States after this. you may not be able to get a regular 9 to 5 after this. Because at this point, I hope it was worth it. I really hope it was worth it. Because I don't see, if you do drop this book, if people are going to buy it. But wish you the best of luck. But I'll tell you this much. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to trust him. There's no way. There is no way. And then you literally do this when you know this man has been through so much in the past couple of years. Then he tried to say he wasn't going to do this around the slap because of what was going on. This man still isn't out of the water from the slap or anything else. This man has constantly been a laughing stock and has publicly humiliated himself on top of that for the past 3 years. For the past 3 years. So shame on you. Shame on you for doing this. Besides the fact that, you claim you want them to come out and be truthful. They don't owe you that, and they don't owe us that. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. But like Nene said, and like we've all said, if it wasn't for that damn red table talk, maybe we wouldn't be in this stuff at all at this point, because we have had so many stories and so many things to talk about when it came to Jada and Will for the past 3 years. I'm over it. But at the same time, if some more stuff come out, my ass is going to be hit and I'm going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But let's just hope at this point that we are done with the conversation with Will and Jada, unless they actually sue. So with that being said, you guys, thank you. Yes, hit the like button, replay gang, hit the like button. Definitely leave your comments below. We can continue the conversation in the comments below. And yes, you guys, probably legal loopholes in Dubai. They can't sue him, really. I don't know, child. I don't know. He probably, I don't know. Keep y'all business to yourselves. Yeah, at this point, I think it's just really smart to do that, because it just really just shows that people can smile in your face, make it seem like they such positive people, but really have evil intentions behind it. And it's sad. It's sad because you want to see the best in people. And I truly think Will has that in him. He really wants to see the best in people. He really wants to bring the best in people. Like he wants to bring that out. But you got to sometimes understand that people just ain't shit. And I've had to learn that myself. I always try to see the best in people. But sometimes people ain't shit. And people try to hurt people. And people are not always proud of your success, no matter how much they're trying to promote it. They're not always proud of your success. You know what I mean? It's just sad that Will had to find this out about this so-called friend almost 40 years later. That has to hurt. You will hope that people will show their true colors in the beginning and you can kind of get rid of them from the beginning. But after all of these years, I kind of feel for him on this. It's just like, can't trust nobody. Right. My best and I were like, what we doing wrong? Working too hard, obviously. Well, this was another, thank you. Us little people know that. It seems celebs don't. Honestly, I don't know if little people know it either, because you got malicious people, us little people that are malicious and trying to do crazy stuff for no reason besides the fact that they're malicious. So I don't know. That's why I say, and I think, again, when we have integrity, we think that everyone has to have integrity. You got a lot of evil people out here who just have no integrity. They don't care. They just don't. Can we do a live on Snoop? Child, I don't know if I believe Snoop not smoking. He probably just wanted a reason to get back in the press. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know. So yeah, so with that being said, you guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much again for coming in on this video. And yeah, of course, we're ending on green. But with that being said, definitely I will see you on the next video. Toodles, have a great evening. Peace.